are now about to start recording the share. When you are finished, please hang up.
Good night, everyone. Welcome, everybody, and it's wonderful to see everybody again. Thank you for making it such a beautiful Olam. I heard it was a really very nice Yom Tov. With everybody going away, we still had a very nice Yom Tov, and thank you all for participating. Before we do the Mishnayos, there are certain days of the year that are extraordinary. Everyone agrees that starting from Marav tonight, one of the most extraordinary days of the year is Hoshana Rabba. I want to say that this shir is being specially sponsored by Michal Vego, who I was together with the first days in Greenwell Caterers, a very long-standing Talmud of mine, Mr. and Mrs. Michal Vego, and that they should have Taka Guten Kvittel. If you learn the Aruch HaShulchan, I had a great impression of the importance of the Aruch HaShulchan from two of my great Rebbeim. Rav Moshe put tremendous emphasis on the Aruch HaShulchan. He would say that we really have to listen to the Aruch HaShulchan because he was a Rav. And he would quote the Aruch HaShulchan with great authority. Also, I had the Zechia in the Yeshiva of Staten Island. I heard some shiurim from Rav Gershon Wiesenfeld. Rav Gershon Wiesenfeld passed away very young, but they say that if he would have had the strength, they would have already included him in the Moitzes Gedolei HaTorah in his 50s. He was that great of a man. He would come to yeshiva once a week, and he would give us the most complicated shiurim. But I watched as he would give us, I remember giving shir and chardal in very difficult sugyas in the second parak of Av Basra. I mean, so difficult. But he would be sitting, and he would be learning Aruch HaShulchan straight. These great people recognize. So if you look at the Aruch HaShulchan about Hoshana Rabba, he waxes eloquently about how it's another Yom Hadin. So I don't want the Olam to miss the opportunity of appreciating what the next 24 hours could do for us. The Divrei Chaim says three explanations why it's called Hoshana Rabba. He says it's called Hoshana Rabba because we ask our great Rabba in heaven to save us. It's called Hoshana Rabba that we ask Hashem, Hoshana Rabba, save your great children, because we're B'nai B'chari Yisrael. And he says the third explanation in Hoshana Rabba is Hoshana Rabba, give us great salvation. A lot of great things. Of course, it's called Hoshana Rabba because we say a lot of Hoshanas. Tomorrow we're going to say a lot of Hoshanas. Come join us at 8 o'clock. We'll have a beautiful minyan. It's also called Hoshana Rabba because there are those that say that Sukkot is also 7 days, besides the Sefer HaMatamim that says Sukkot is 7 days because there were 7 clouds. It parallels also Zeichel Yetzias Mitzrayim. And the 7th day was Kriyas Yamsuf. So it was the Hoshana Rabba. It was a great salvation. The Zohar Chodesh is the source that although the decrees are written on Rosh Hashanah and sealed on Yom Kippur, but the piskais, the verdicts, are not given to the emissaries until Hoshana Rabbah. And therefore we could still stop something from giving it over to the emissary. That's why we wish people a piska tova. That should be a good verdict. The Mata Moshe. The Mata Moshe is like the handbook for, shul proceedings. The Mata Moshe says that Avraham Avinu was told, he brings a medrash, that Avraham Avinu was told by Hashem, don't worry, even if Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur doesn't turn out good for your descendants, they still could change it and stack the verdicts on Hoshana Rabbah. We know that's the famous hint, Aryeh Sharag Milo Yira, the lion roars, who's not afraid, that Aleph is Elul, Reish is Rosh Hashanah, Yud is Yom Kippur, and Hey is Hoshana Rabbah. There's Rekanti. Those that know the Rekanti is quoted in awe. The Rekanti says that there was another nusach in the famous kapitel that we say on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. He says there was a nusach b'Rosh Hashanah yishpotun, u'v'Yom Kippur yikasevun, u'v'Hoshana Rabbah yechasemun. That's a Rekanti. And this Rekeach will knock your socks off. The Rekeach was a Rishon. The Rekeach writes that at the time, now we have a 19-year calendar. Now we have a 19-year calendar. But in the olden days, the months, everything was decided al pi Bezdin. Bezdin would make sure to arrange that Hoshana Rabbah would never fall out on Shabbos. Why? Because it's a day of tefillah. And on Shabbos you're not supposed to pray for your needs. Now that's amazing. Rosh Hashanah falls out on Shabbos and we don't have the shofar. It's an amazing thing. But no, Hoshana Rabbah can't fall out on Shabbos. We need that opportunity that day to be able to pray. It's known as the Yom HaArava. Why? Because we put down the lulav, the 4 minim, and we only hold the arava. Like I'll tell you tomorrow, Rav Moshe's minig is before going to the second part of the slichas tomorrow, Rav Moshe used to do the nanuim with the aravas. I saw that myself. He would do that, it's my minig. Afterwards, when I put down the lulav and esrog and I take up the Hoshanas, I do the nanuim with the Hoshanas. Now, it's strange that we leave ourselves with the Hoshanas because we know that the arava represents those that don't have Torah or Maisim Tovim. Right? The Hadassim are those that have those that have Maisim Tovim, not Torah, etc. But the arava is those that don't have anything. That's why arava, if you do an anagram of arava, it's Rabba. It's bad in it. Like the arava is mamish naked. It's aim but Torah v'loy ma'asim tovim. And yet we take that. Why? Because what does the arava represent? Right? We said the esrog is the heart, the lulav is the spine, the hadassim are the eyes, but the arava is the mouth. Today is known as, starting tonight, it's the day that's known as Yom HaArava. It's the day of the mouth. Now let's turn to the great wisdom of Ger. I'm going to tell you 2 things from the great wisdom of Ger. The Chidushei Arim says that if you look at the Nara Amarasa, so if the Nara Amarasa was with a man and she was in the city, then she's punished. Why? Al dvar asher lo yitzaka. You should have screamed. If it's in the Sada, nobody is around, can't have any time on her. But al dvar asher lo yitzaka, says the Chidushei Arim, that's the time on people on Hoshana Rabbah. If people just glide through it, and what they know about Hoshana Rabbah is kreplach. Al dvar asher, there's a time on us. It's a day where we could cry out. And this Rabbi said there's so much to cry out about. That
where might we cry out?
all over the place. When you say Hoshana, that right there, Hoshana leman rachamecha rabim.
That's not doing tshuva.
No, we're not talking about tshuva.
Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Hoshana Rabbah, isn't that tshuva?
No, Yom HaRava is a day of tefillah. It's a day to daven. Hoshana. Do you know that this week, one of the survivors of the Nova Festival took her life? We're still suffering from that. Every day, people are getting killed. Every day. You know, four missiles were shot from Hezbollah. 3 were intercepted, 1 wasn't, and it fell in an empty place. That's open miracles. That missile that wasn't intercepted could have hit a school, could have hit a base medrash, and there are many Bati Midrashim. You know, so we need to say Hoshana, but it's not. And of course, Eretz Yisrael is just one of the focuses. There's so much to say. We have a neighbor over here, Mr. Friedman. He had a heart attack. He lives right next to the shul. He davens here sometimes. He davens for his Kabbalah Shabbos. He's a beautiful Balmonagain. He had a heart attack. Then he was recovering from the heart attack. He fell and he broke his hip. He's in the hospital now. You know, it's there's so many things to pray for in Hoshana. You know, there are people that live together and they're not getting along with each other. It's Hoshana. There's so many things. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes when I say Ana Hashem Hoshana in Hallel, I feel I don't have time. I'm glad that there's the Nanuim, that I could stretch it out. So many people need Shidduchim. There's so many people that there are people that are suffering from pneumonia and they can't kick it. There's just so many things to daven. There are people that can't. I don't want to tell you what my wife went to Evergreen and bought stuff for the 3-day Yom Tov. They're having a big family. The prices are enormous. There are a lot of people that can't afford it. It's breaking them. It's breaking them. So they succumb, they put it on the credit cards, and then they have these killer minimum payments, and they're paying such interest. It's here, Ana Hashem Hoshana. Hoshana. You know what the Sfas Emes said? I'll tell you from the wisdom of Ger. The Sfas Emes, and I'm sorry, I know you came down, you want to just daven mincha marv and get out of here. Two mishnayos, pum pum pum, you know. But I really want to make the Olam aware of tomorrow is a big day. You know what the Sfas Emes says? The Sfas Emes says it's a spin. The famous Gemara on Shabbos that Hashem asks us questions at the end of our life. Right? So the first question is, Nosata b'emuna, did you do business faithfully? The second question is, Kavati itim la Torah, did you make time to do Torah? The third question is, Osakta b'pirya v'rivya. And the fourth question is, Sipisa l'Yeshua. So the classic meaning is, did you hope for the Mashiach? But the Sfas Emes says, Sipisa l'Yeshua, did you look forward for the day of the Yeshua for Hoshana Rabbah? It's a Sfas Emes. You say, that's drush. It's a Sfas Emes. Tzipisa Yeshua, did you hope for that day of Hoshana Rabbah? The day where a person could really pray and ask the Rabbeinu Shalom for things? That's tonight, in Ma'ariv, you know, the Olas Tamid brings down that when you say Ashiva Shoftenu, and you say Tzadkenu b'mishpat, that's a good place to ask Hashem that He should be matzdik us in mishpat. And what better time tonight, Ma'ariv, as we are on this holy day where the kvittels are given. You know, I know we had a minig that in Yeshiva Staten Island, we stayed up the whole night tonight. And we got together and we davened Vasikin in the morning. Rabbi Mintz led it. It was really, really serious. There are people that light candles. Of course, it's very good to chaperayim with the sukkah. Whatever you could chaperayim with the sukkah. There's another reason it says that it's called Hoshana Rabbah, is whose Shpizin is tonight? David HaMelech. David HaMelech and the Zarei Shel David is the Hoshana Rabbah, will be the great salvation. And David, to go into the sukkah with David HaMelech, I have to tell you something. And with this I'll conclude, because I'm really abusing the Olam's time. You'll forgive me, but so you could be cynical and say, well, he didn't speak to us the whole Yom Tov, he has to make up for it. I spoke a lot over Yom Tov. They utilized me. They squeezed out the juice for me, Baruch Hashem. But Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach was asked, how come this is such a secret? It's not brought down. In Shulchan Aruch it doesn't say anything about Hoshana Rabba being a Yom Adin. It's al pi Zohar. So why is it such a secret? It became more in this past century. It became more a thing. But why is it such a secret? They asked Rav Shlomo Zalman. You know what Rav Shlomo Zalman said? Rav Shlomo Zalman said, in the past, if you would have told people it's such a day of last chance, it would stir the simcha. And it says, "V'hayisach sameach." You're supposed to be only b'simcha. So because it would stir the simcha, they didn't make it so public. He says, nowadays we're not so scared. Nowadays we're not. This was Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. Nowadays we're not so scared. They could tell us about it. But Rabbi Elimelech Biederman writes that those that know Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, I really regret that I never met him. He must have been something. He must have been something to behold. And I've seen pictures, I've read his Torah, but he must have been. He was very warm, and he always was makabel people with great warmth, but not the night of Hoshana Rabbah. He told people, please, he was busy saying Tehillim. Busy saying Tehillim. The opportunity at this time is unbelievable. So I want to take the opportunity to wish all of you and our families a good and kvittel, all of my viewers, all of my listeners, a good and kvittel, and it should be a year where we should have no scares, no pains, no worries, and menuchas hanefesh. Okay, now we do the Mishnah Yomis. By the way, tonight we have a triple header because we're going to learn the two block tonight to get ahead for Yom Tov. It's a 3-day Yom Tov again, and then we're going to do for the Shabbos table for Bereshis. So that's on schedule for tonight.